Hey guys, welcome to Cars and Health Bars. On today's episode, we discuss our beef with automotive engineers. Also, we get into what Jordan's thoughts are on Call of Duty Modern Warfare 3. With that being said, let's get right into it. So we haven't done a beef episode in a little while, and I was just sitting here thinking of who to call out, who's next, And then I thought, as, mechanics and even non-mechanics, just car people, we all have a common enemy, and that is our automotive engineers that make our lives so difficult whenever it comes to doing anything related to our engine. If it's something that's been, placed, in a very inconvenient spot. I know you for sure can speak on this working at Ford. I just see stuff on Tyler's story all the time, and it's like, having it's best case scenario to pull the cab off to do particular jobs just because stuff's in such terrible spots.
Yeah, really, it's the whole thing about bad engineers. There's definitely a little bit of truth to it, but most of the time you're probably not doing something right, or by the book anyways, if you're running into those situations.
Yeah.
But it also is, there is a sense of, they build the cars with the body off on a lot of trucks and shit, so once the body's on, obviously it's a lot harder to get stuff.
Well, they want you to take it to the dealer also, so it's like, it's really simple for you guys to take the cab off, at Ford, but your old buddy Shade Tree mechanic, he ain't gonna be able to do all that.
Oh, dude, they will. Let me tell you, I've seen them do it. These Mexicans I know, they got just, they used to have just two trees and a chain.
Oh,
and
my
shit,
God.
But now they got this little setup outside. Almost like a lift, kind of.
That's crazy.
You can definitely do a lot of work at home. I think a lot of the people that say, oh, you can't work on at home nowadays just aren't buying tools or aren't going to invest their time into it, honestly.
It makes me think of, there are certain bolts that have a specific head to take the bolt out, but for the most part, you can get it done with what you got. They make star bits, they make that stuff. It's not like some specialty one-off
tool. Torx
tool.
bits have been used for forever. That's used on a lot of stuff.
Yeah, and I do think, automotive engineers do kind of make it to where they don't necessarily make it to where, but they make it harder for the consumer to work on their vehicle because they have kind of the best interest in mind, because you aren't trained to work on these vehicles, most consumers, and yes, it is a money game. They, of course, they want you to bring your Ford back to the Ford dealership so, they can make their money on you after they've sold the vehicle to you. But like I said, it's also in the best interest that a professional works on your vehicle.
Yeah, Ford doesn't make a whole lot of money after a car is sold. They don't make a whole lot of money off sales either. I don't know how much they get from dealers for service, but I would say it's not actually as much as people think.
Yeah.
Ford is probably, people be hating on Ford, but the one thing I always respected was that they didn't take our tax money.
Oh, really?
During the grants, in 08, when Dodge and Chevy did, Ford has never took a lien from the government.
Huh.
They never took a lump sum from our government, from our tax-paying dollars.
I didn't know that. Just a few examples I pulled up. I kind of wanted to just do some small snippets that I found just looking up, terrible automotive engineer flaws. And I've got a few pulled up here. The first one I actually saw in a donut video that I was watching about this. Back in the early 1990s, the Mercedes-Benz, of course, everybody was trying to start kind of leaning into the eco-friendly stuff. And so Mercedes-Benz wanted to find something in their car to make biodegradable. Of course, biodegradable.
I think I've heard about this.
It's all fine and dandy when it's something, like seats or, something that, it's all good if it, goes bad. Well, what they decided to do is make their wire casings biodegradable, which in turn you start what's protecting your wire starts degrading, and then it's exposed to the elements and temperature change and everything else. And what starts happening? Electrical failures. Oh, that is
Or the
like,
ground opens. I mean, you just asking
yeah.
for every possible bad thing to happen.
I just don't understand how that was such an oversight
Yeah, I wanted to say something. I don't know if you know this. A lot of people don't actually understand how electricity flows.
Oh yeah, for sure.
It's not just through a wire. It's not even like that at all. It's really crazy and it's hard to explain. Like it would take forever to explain. But yeah, if you don't know, you should watch a YouTube video about it. It is super cool.
Yeah, my stepdad is an electrician, and he just like it just blows my mind what all he knows. Just talking to him about the stuff he knows, as far as wiring and
Yeah.
everything goes. He's like he knows a lot, which he's a master electrician, but still, it's a lot to pick his brain. And a lot of
Oh, I
time,
bet.
I feel like I'm talking to Haney sometimes whenever he starts talking about stuff because I'm just like nodding my head like yeah, yeah, yeah.
I bet I'd be like that too, to be honest. I don't know that much about, especially like house wiring.
Yeah, get lost in the sauce real easily when he's talking about electricity. Yeah, that blew my mind. Out of everything they could find to be biodegradable, they chose the wire
Yeah.
casings. That's crazy. That's
Because they already degrade over time, like like 10 to 15 years, usually all the loom is gone.
it's just crazy. You're like, yeah, well, let's make the head gaskets biodegradable too. Might as well be.
They're touched by coolant, nothing will go wrong there.
Yeah. The first one I'm finding on this list is Chrysler's botched 1980 fuel injection system. Have you heard about this?
I don't think I have.
So what they did is they put nearly all the EFI components on the intake manifold and air cleaner, including the mass airflow sensor and the engine control unit itself. Clearly, it made.
Oh my lord!
Clearly, I mean, it made for better installation, but I mean, everything is exposed to like heat, vibration, like.
Yeah.
I don't.
If it's in the air cleaner, never mind. I was about to say something stupid.
I mean, that's just I don't understand why they would put it all in that one spot. It just makes no sense at all. I don't know what they're thinking.
I'm not even surprised by that much, to be honest.
Yeah, but
I just expect shit like that.
it's a Chrysler too.
It'd be too easy if they didn't do that at this point.
So I learned a little bit from this part. The Oldsmobile turbo rocket fuel. I was like, oh, what?
I think I've heard of this.
So it says not only was it in the 1962-1963 Oldsmobile Jetfire was the first production car to have a turbocharger. It was the first production car to sport water injection. Olds dubbed the fluid a mix of alcohol and water, quotations, turbo rocket fuel, and housed in the container of the engine bay. While the technology itself was not the simplest or most reliable, the insane part was asking owners to keep it topped up. Let's face it, the average American driver won't check their fluids until a low pressure light comes on. Oh, in the grand... Go ahead.
That is literally water methanol injection at its first use, pretty much. It wasn't methanol, it was alcohol, but that's almost the same thing. So that's really cool, actually. I think, people topping it off, they won't keep their fucking power steering topped off or their coolant. Like, no one checks their fluids until it's too late.
Yeah.
So, I mean, yeah, you're exactly right. And especially if it relies on timing from that.
Oh my god!
I could just see that being such an issue.
Yeah, that's so cool though to think that there was that sort of fueling in the first turbocharged car. Like, what in the world were they doing?
They've been doing nitromethane since at least the 60s, maybe the 50s.
Yeah. So this one calls out the German engineers. And it says
They're the worst.
Yeah, the communist way. There's a lot of good materials that make car bodies: steel, aluminum, fiberglass, and carbon fiber. have all worked out pretty well. But God, how do I even say this? Trana Barnt, I don't know. So what it is, it's made of plastic coated in fiber scraps. The passenger safety wasn't particularly high on the eastern side of Germany's
Yeah,
government priority list. Plastic
that doesn't
coated in
sound
fiber
hard at
stripes.
all.
Oh my God. It sounds like fiberglass.
It sounds like weak fiberglass.
Yeah, plastic fiberglass. Like, if. Oh my God. That sounds horrible. They
See,
make.
fiberglass inherently isn't very strong either.
No. I mean, it's glass. It's got glass infused in it. I mean, it's not. It ain't meant to hold up nothing. I mean, it breaks all the time.
It's just good at holding shape and taking relatively decent amount of impact, but let's face it, it ain't gonna hold up.
Uh, this one mentions the biodegradable wiring that we already touched on. So this says how to ruin your car's reputation with just a fuel filter.
Oh no.
A, a smart designer put a fuel filter in the location where you can just reach over and replace it with no hassle. I beg to differ on some makes and models, but yeah. Uh, a bad designer makes you crawl underneath the car to find it. See that quite a bit. With the third generation RX-7 Mazda, didn't just require crawling underneath the car to replace the filter. You had to disassemble the rear suspension to get to it. Oh my God! Did you know about this?
No, but that doesn't sound ridiculous to me. I mean,
Disassemble the rear suspension. I wonder if you have to pull the whole like rear end out to get to it.
you know where your filter is in every car now? It's
mean,
in the fuel tank at the fuel pump. It's the sock, like
yeah,
ain't that bad.
Yeah, I would kind of beg to differ. It says how to ruin your car's reputation.
90s cars had them in the frame and 80s cars too. Like most cars had them in the frame before fuel injection. But once fuel injection became a thing, we had in-tank pumps. They've always had filters on them.
I will say, as we started to crawl up into the 2010-ish range, they, just from the vehicles I
went
worked
away
on,
from inline.
yeah, they just got so much like easier. Like the Dakotas, it's at like a 45-degree angle. It's like so annoying and hard to get on. Like my car, Trisha's car, they're all like straight up and down. They're like so easy just to thread on, thread off.
Yeah, and then 2013-ish, you got high pressure fuel injection, direct injection. So it was just like at that point you're running an in-tank filter because you got such high pressures.
Yeah.
Before the rail, you don't have that high pressure, but it's just everyone's moved away from it.
Wow. I thought this. I've been thinking about oil filter this whole time, not a fuel filter.
Oh yeah.
That's why I was saying. Okay, so I got it completely mixed up. Yeah, that's crazy. Disassembling the rear suspension. That's so like common. You almost have to. You got to drop the rear end out of it. Like you said, I got so lost in the sauce on that one. Yeah, even like 80s body style cars are really reputable for people cutting trap doors inside of the body itself, like in the cab that you can get to it, just so you don't gotta drop
all kinds of people do that.
Yeah, it's just like, yeah, it's not good for the car necessarily. You're kind of ruining it, I guess, in a way for some people. But it's just like, that saves so much time.
Put a trap door there, I get that. Yeah, I ain't gonna hate on that.
Oh, dude, you should see these third gen groups. It's like these third gen purists get so mad.
And the fourth gen guys do it a shit ton too. That's just how the unibody is.
Yeah, I shouldn't have to drop my whole rear end just so I can get to something like simple. Whenever I could just cut a hole.
My dad cut a hole in his fourth gen to reach it.
Why not? It's your car. You do what you want to. You can't make a K car do everything. I don't know what. Okay. While more of a failure of badge engineering that actually, what am I saying? While more of a failure of badge engineering, there is actual engineering. The 1986 Chrysler limousine still inspired lots of questions. Combine the ordinary pedestrian styling of a K car. What's a K car?
I don't know.
I'm gonna have to
A
look this up.
K car?
Oh, it's a body style that the Chryslers have. It looks like. Yeah, I'm guessing it's just like the sedan style Chrysler boxy car sedan thing. Uh, I don't really see the issue with this. It seems like they're just complaining about the turbo four banger and the stretchy limo body. It's proof that the ideas of the platform were very possible in the applications. I'm not following that one. So this is calling out the Cadillac V8 64.
6'4".
Yeah, you know what it's referring to on that one? 1980s body style, I guess.
Yeah, it must be an older big block.
Uh,
Or it could be small block, actually. Never mind. I don't
oh,
know.
this is okay, so this is talking about. Okay, so it says today a lot of large V8 conserve fuel by shutting down cylinders. The modern way of doing this is cutting off flow to the oil to the hydraulic lifters, making it collapse and close the valve. Chrysler pioneered the idea of individual cylinder deactivation in 1981, but the GM division used a horribly complicated solenoid-driven linkage to move the rocker arms. What? This Rube Goldberg contraption didn't do much for reliability. The fuel economy wasn't even that great. God, what in the world? I've never even heard of that.
This sounds like DOD's beginnings, honestly.
I was gonna say, like, DOD sucked, like, in my 2014 Camaro, and just they tried it in 1981, and it's even worse. It sounds like, God, that sounds like engine failure just waiting to happen. A solenoid moving the rocker arms. That does not sound like something they needed to be messing with back
They
then.
always be doing shit for emissions, though. That's just how it be.
Yeah, the boss said, "Give me better fuel economy," and some engineer said, "I got you, homie."
He said, "Whatever you say, man. If it's what you want."
So this is claiming the worst chassis and engine combination ever with the Mazda's 13B rotary engine. It is a torqueless little beastie that you could have to rev to the moon with and to make absolutely no power. Putting a featherweight sports car make perfect sense. Putting a 26 passenger school bus doesn't. Still, that's precisely what Mazda used this engine. Long before it appeared in the American market in the RX-7, named the Parkway Rotary 26. This bus was the last vehicle so they put it inside of a bus?
Yeah.
Really? Oh my God. It says this bus was the last vehicle you'd want to get stuck behind driving up Mount Fuji. Wow, they put the 13B rotary inside of a bus?
I'm not surprised.
Wow.
Just give her RPM, let her sing.
I just imagine a school bus driver like cutting off the header or cutting off the like pipe right at the header, and God, that thing sound crazy. So there's one here talking about Chinese. I guess we'll skim through it. The epic fail goes to the Chinese company Geely for coming up with one of the most dangerous safety features of all time. In 2008, it was announced a system that would sense blowouts and automatically apply the brakes to slow down the car. Oh my God. Never mind that the driver could often have a good sense of reason what happened to keep up their speed until they find a safe way to get out in traffic and pull over. What in the world?
Maybe on crack or something, dude.
It senses a blowout. You imagine if that sensor's going out and it's just like slowing you down?
Yeah. Oh my Lord. Like, I've never even heard of that.
That is insane. That's some like wish.com stuff right at China.
I want my TPMS sensor to make it where I can't go anywhere.
I'm not sure if you had a
You know
blowout.
how often they go out?
I
Just TPMS sensors in general?
Sensors are meant to go out because, it's better the sensor go out than the issue that it's supposed to be alarming you with go out. That's the whole reason the sensor is there, is to let you know. The sensor is kind of the
middleman. I think of
middleman.
some engineering WTF things with sensors.
Uh-huh.
throttle body codes throwing you in limp mode.
Oh God.
Like some of that stuff be annoying. Let me see what else we got. I've thought of a few LS things.
I got a small,
Yeah.
I got a small block thing right now. We see it all the time whenever we go to car shows because we get, I get jealous. For whatever reason, GM decided to put that distributor right in the back of the block where it's going to hit the firewall. It's going to hit everything when you pull it out. It's just, God, I'm so envious whenever I see like a 351 with the distributor in the front or a Mopar with the distributor in the front. I'm like, I wish I could have that.
Too bad.
It is.
Like the Chevy.
Okay. What about the first gen LT1 with the OptiSpark?
OptiSpark?
Yeah.
Oh my lord, yeah, that is a prime example of engineers doing stupid shit. We got our cam-driven water pump, with our cam-driven sparking unit, our coil and everything for our spark plugs. Yeah, we got all that right below the water pump that has a weep hole right above it. Like, water weeps from when it goes bad. So literally, I don't know how this ever went into production, dude. It just blows my mind because when a water pump goes out, it leaks from that weep hole, So I just don't understand why they ever did that.
Yeah.
I got a Gavin cameo here. Gavin, what's your engineering take? What's the worst thing you've ever seen an engineer do on a car you've worked on?
This one time, I tried to loosen a bolt and busted my knuckles. Thank you. I'll be here all week.
That's perfect. I guess it goes without saying you probably know about the Bricklin SV1.
It sounds familiar, but it's not. I don't remember it right now.
It's almost notorious. There's actually a different car. Oh man, I've got to look it up. But the SV1 is kind of known as one of the worst vehicles that ever was to be produced. There is a sister vehicle. No, there's a sister vehicle to this car that's actually even cheaper version of this car, which is deemed the worst ever. I mean, it was made by a wartime kind of. It was made overseas, but it's
During
like
wartime, I'm guessing, so it's just cheap fucking quality.
Yeah, and no safety standard whatsoever. Donut even went and bought one to test to see what its issues were, if it was reliable, all that other stuff. But I mean, this thing is. I'll just read what they said on the article. Bricklin made a few mistakes with his automotive career, still to fill several lists, but it was hard to top the unsafe doors on his safety vehicle. Gull-wing doors have never been are never the most practical idea, but the Bricklin's heavy doors were operated hydraulically. Okay, so I'm not thinking of the SV1. SV1.
I've heard of the SV1. I'm sure I have, but yeah, hydraulic gull-wing doors. That just seems like an issue because, on all these modern Teslas, they're all electric. So imagine you have a leak in your, pump or shock or, your jack or whatever. It's like just asking for to not be able to get out because it's going to be like an airlock or, fluid's going to be stuck in you can't compress fluid. So if you try to get it out, it's like you can't compress fluid, so you're stuck.
Right. So the Bricklin is that it looks like the Gremlin, but it's got the little like push-in bumper guard kind of looking on the car.
See, I don't remember what it looks like, but I know I've heard of this thing somewhere.
Yeah, we definitely saw one at one of the last Cars and Coffees we went to.
That's right. Yeah, that's where. Yeah, I remember now.
And I was like, that car would look good if it didn't have that stupid bumper guard on the front.
Yeah, I remember now.
Yeah, so I'm thinking of the Yugo. The Yugo is...
Oh, yeah, those are notorious, dude.
Like, it's the amount of things that is wrong with this car is just like, it's...
it's like a Jeep on meth. Like...
A Jeep on
you
meth.
Describe it. But you know what? I gotta give it one thing. I saw a thing recently where... in Ukraine, one of them was running, or just driving down the road. I don't know if he's running from someone or not, but a suicide drone locked onto him and blew. It either went in it or right next to it and blew up, dude. and somehow this thing kept going. Like the dude kept driving, but they blown tanks up. So it's just like, how?
God. Yeah, this thing now, it's kind of funny to talk about interiors because nowadays, especially with Tesla, like, oh my God, dude, it's
I
like
hate Tesla interiors.
they're so cheap. Like, it's this thin plastic, and that kind of seems like what the Bricklin was, or the Yugo was. The ride was terrible. Like, there's hardly anything. The handling's terrible. Like, literally, there's a longer terrible list than there is good list with the Yugo.
Yeah, I don't even think it was really engineered. I think someone just kind of built a car like from scratch.
Yeah,
I wouldn't doubt that at all. It really seems like that because the steering is really shit. Like all the steering angles. Like, don't get me wrong, it'll drive straight, but like, just it was not engineered good. I know the engine is really notorious for having issues.
oh yeah, I think it only gets up to like 60 miles an hour too. Maybe not even that. I don't think it gets up to cruising speed.
They're just your typical like northeastern type vehicles, you know.
Yeah, I mean, in its defense, it is like, like you said, there's not a lot of driving really to do, especially in like, I think it was in Czechoslovakia.
Czechoslovakia.
Yeah, I might be speaking out of turn, but it's somewhere over there where it's like really packed. There's not a lot of driving to be done anyway, so really all they need are these little like motorized boxes to get them from A to B. So,
but you know what? I would like that because it's like shit boxes in the boys, just the phone shit boxes.
Yeah, that's pretty much what it is. That's like the OBS,
like Jacob's van.
Oh my God, that thing is rough. Anyways, that's kind of what we have. Give us your thoughts for sure. I've got to know what some of the firsthand experiences you guys have seen with these automotive engineers.
Yeah, I actually would like to know other people's, experiences.
I'm sure if we had Tyler on, he'd probably just go on and on because he sees this stuff every day. Like,
I bet Matt's got a few good ones too.
Oh yeah, I'm sure he's probably got more insight on the import side of things. That'd be kind of neat.
Especially stuff we're not familiar with.
Yeah. With that being said, we're going to throw it to a quick break, and we'll be back with our gaming topic. So we're fresh off the Modern Warfare 3 beta. Of course, I hopped on there, seeing kind of what it was all about. And, yeah, it's safe to say that there's a lot of hype around the game, and you would go so far to say that it is not deserved hype. And I kind of want to get your 2 cents because you feel very passionate about how you feel about how they're doing the Modern Warfare 3 game as a whole.
Yeah, I mean, this whole game is just DLC MW2, and really I could almost chalk it up to DLC MW 2019. I really just can't see why you would spend, what is it, $70?
Yeah.
It's not even $60 somewhere. I mean, $70 for literally MW2 maps. It's MW3, and they said they put MW2 maps in MW2 multiplayer, and here we are with MW3 having it. I wonder if this will have leaderboards and KD and all that. If it doesn't, I would not be surprised.
Theater mode.
Like, it's ridiculous, man, and the zombies mode seems like a complete joke to me, too.
Yeah,
I don't know. That could actually turn out good. I won't say it's bad yet. I want to see reviews on it, but I don't got high hopes, to say the least.
Yeah, and me actually playing it myself, I did enjoy it. I thought it was nice. Like you said, it's kind of crazy that they're making us pay money because, in my opinion, if I'm paying for a new game, it should feel like a new experience, or an old good
an updated
nostalgic
version of it.
Yeah, and in my honest opinion, it felt like Modern Warfare 2019 with cooler maps, and that, just like you said, it just could have been a DLC. It's kind of absurd that they're wanting us to pay more money for a Call of Duty game that has not only reused maps, which is a good thing, but the same. They say the movement system's slightly different, but in my opinion, I just could not tell a difference in it whatsoever.
No, the only difference is that it has. You remember how they removed slide canceling and stuff of that nature? Well,
yeah.
It's back. It's back to the original 2019 movement.
And that was nice. It is.
So it's really not new. It's unnerved.
Unnerved, yeah, pretty much.
Yeah,
they added a feature that was, it's kind of unnecessary. They added red dot back, which that is not what I was referring to.
Yeah, I was happy for that, though.
Yeah, again, it's something that it isn't worth spending money for. Should have been there, yeah. But they added to where no matter what gun you're using, it seems like, maybe not for snipers, but you can, whenever you ADS, it gives you the option to toggle tactical, which basically just turns your gun like 40 degrees where you're not looking down the sights, you're kind of looking down the side of the gun. So you don't need a canted sight to look at that angle of your gun anymore, which kind of seems
I kind of feel like that should have been in games sooner, to be honest.
I agree. I mean, especially for Call of Duty going for this new reality, like they want you to believe it's real life like that. Why am I not able to turn my gun sideways and not use the sights? You know,
I don't want to use my ACOG. I'll probably look down just the side of my gun.
Yeah,
and eyeball it.
I kind of agree with you in a sense that the zombies feels like the only thing that's going to be drastically different, and even that, it's like, man, it don't really even seem that great, like you said.
It's not zombies anymore at that point.
I don't know. It seems like, God, Infinity Ward has just really been dropping the ball with these games, man. It's just like they keep rehashing the same crap.
Like, I remember when 2019 trailer came out, and I was like so hype. I was like, finally, this is something that I could actually be into, like a whole revamp of our, because Black Ops 3 and stuff like the EXO, that was kind of new, but it still felt like older COD to me.
Yeah, arcade shooter.
Yeah, and 2019, I really thought it was going to be a little more tactical, but it's still arcade. They might try and lie to you about that, but it is definitely still arcade.
For sure.
And crap, where was I going with that? I don't even remember, but I was happy for it, but it was a letdown, and the games following up had just been the same way to me. Like, I enjoyed 2019 for a long time because it was just a fresher COD experience, but now they're just selling us empty promises and, feeding us a bunch of bull. Like, I don't care about the gun packages, all that DLC, because that's exactly what they're going to do with this. They're just going to make more of those weapon skins and stuff. It's not worth.
Yeah, and they can say, yeah, it carries over, guys. Like, it should. Like, these people have spent all this money on a game that's identical, and they're not going to get to carry their stuff over. People are acting like that's such a cool thing, when in reality, it should be like, it should be the way it should be.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not going to lie, you kind of opened my eyes, because coming off playing the beta, I'm like, Jordan, like, this game, they've done a pretty good job. It feels like 2019, but with good maps. And then you brought up a good point. You're like, yeah, that is a good thing, but that's not something you should pay money for. And you're exactly right. It's like they could have easily took all three of the recent Call of Duty games, including Modern Warfare 3 that's coming out here soon, and they could have just made it into one decent COD game instead of like making us spend a total of, each game being $70, $210 before tax on 3 separate COD games. It could have very easily been one good one. It's kind of ridiculous, and you definitely opened my eyes to that, because I was pretty fired up.
I don't mind them releasing separate games. Like, the older CODs could even be chalked up to that. But the thing is they had new weapons and, new maps. These are recycled maps and weapons, It's just, like, not worth your money, in my opinion. I'm a big COD fan, and this just, I can't agree with it. Man,
if they add shipment into this game, that's gonna be the nail in the coffin for me.
I don't think it was ever in MW3. I think MW2 had like a DLC with it. I might be wrong, actually. I can't remember anymore, because I didn't have all the MW2 DLC. Like, you had some OG COD 4 maps on it, I know, but I don't know if shipment was.
Shipment just seems to be the map that just ruins these new Call of Duty games, because everybody wants them because, it gets KMOs. It's really rare that you play a shipment match and don't get upwards of 50 kills. It's nice, but there's like no skill in that map whatsoever. Like, no matter how you play that map, you just can't utilize skill because there's just too much going on. There's way too many players on way too small of a map, and its flow is ridiculous. It's like wide open. I don't know. I just feel like a lot of people gravitate towards that because they want to be in a match where they get, 50, 60,
and guess
70
what?
kills.
You can finally play High Rise. Guess what we thought we could a year ago, It was in MW2. They just never put a map out for it. They just teased us with it.
I was going to say,
it's only in Warzone.
I was almost sure that they promised we were going to get High Rise in Modern Warfare.
But you know what else they had in MW2 in Warzone? MW3 maps, Dome.
Yeah, true.
Like, I just don't understand, man. Their whole department is just whoever, someone is not doing good, honestly, and it's probably just the higher ups looking at numbers. But I just can't, man. It's just stupid.
They're definitely hurting the community.
Yeah, they're ruining, like, the numbers are dwindling every year. I wouldn't doubt that. I would actually like to see, but I really can't see them keeping us up for too much longer.
Well, we have Treyarch that's been on the back burner. They skipped their year, so I'm just really holding out for some crazy.
And you know what?
Ops.
I liked Cold War. It did have some flaws, but Zombies, I didn't play any DLC. I didn't play any DLC on Cold War, actually, but just the base game multiplayer, I got almost everything diamond. I liked ARs, SMGs, I think. But so I definitely played a decent amount of multiplayer. I grinded it out a little bit. And then I also played Zombies quite a bit, and I enjoyed it. That was probably my favorite newer COD game.
I know you enjoyed Vanguard quite a bit too.
I didn't play it enough to really have a big opinion on it. I couldn't say I enjoyed it.
Yeah,
It was pretty sweaty, really. That was a sweaty one.
Yeah, and it's just like the maps were so crazy, like random. With that hotel one where it's like you could just break through glass and get it like obliterated. The camping.
Like that game was rough, man. Like it was like sweat fest.
I don't think anybody liked Vanguard.
I tried it, man. I really did try to put time into that one. I like World War II shooters, so I tried it.
Do you think it's kind of a disgrace to the Modern Warfare, the OG Modern Warfare games, to see what they're doing with that title nowadays? You grew up playing Modern Warfare 2. I mean, that's a really nostalgic game for you.
That's my childhood, man. Is either the earlier CODs and then the Modern Warfares, yeah.
Well, Modern Warfare 3 was my first one, and
it was my first as well. That wasn't the World War II ones.
It's just like, if they were going to reuse that title of Modern Warfare 3 or Modern Warfare 2, I just wanted to see either a remaster or, God, just something similar to it. Like, put it on a nice
remaster would have done a lot better, I think.
Honestly, I would have been happy if they would have just made a brand new COD game, like, the normal garbage that they make now, and just remastered Modern Warfare 3 as a add-on, kind of like how they did with COD 4.
MW2 and COD 4.
Yeah, that would have done...
had the MW2 remaster on the same engine as that COD 4 one.
Yeah, they would have...
They never did multiplayer. It's just campaign.
If they would have added that on like they did in the past, they would have seen so many sales, and people would have been happy.
Honestly, just looking at the past, man, with that MW2 remaster and all that, like, I don't know what people still expect out of Call of Duty at this point. They are just taking your money and fucking running.
Yeah,
there's no other way of putting it, man. It's really like they're not. I can't believe how. Like, I gotta look up sometime how many people work for like Treyarch, Activision, all that in their studios. Because if it's more than a couple of people, I would honestly not even believe it. It can't be more than like 50 people. Because it takes them so long to put out anything,
I mean, if you ask any Call of Duty player, and I wouldn't even say someone that's at least played the last 5-6 years of Call of Duty, we would almost all agree that the last good Call of Duty game, like, I mean good, like we could go back and play it now, was Black Ops 3. Or yeah.
And Black Ops 4 had good zombies, I will say. It had some, like, it had good and bad. So
right, but as far as an all-round good Call of Duty game where you could hop in campaign, zombies, multiplayer, COD or Black Ops 3 was the last one, and some people even hate Black Ops 3. That's hard to believe. That
was an original game, honestly.
Yeah,
have we done a video going over all the like we should do one that makes what's good about every COD game, like just briefly.
Yeah,
go over all of them, the ones that were good.
But it's just...
And maybe a few bad things. We could just do cons and negatives on them. That would honestly be a good idea. Because if we did it with the new ones, I'm telling you now, there wouldn't be many cons.
It's depressing, man. It really is.
If you have a wish to commit suicide, play any newer COD. Because you're going to hate it after playing any multiplayer.
Just go back, play a classic COD. They're starting to host the servers still, and then go and play the most recent Call of Duty game, and you will just be like, "What happened? Like, why is it playing like this?"
Even playing what was it, Plutonium? I mean,
oh my god, that was so refreshing.
Sure, people are more sweaty now, but it's still so much better. Like, so much more fun. Like.
That's what's
It
crazy.
ain't just memories. It actually was a better game.
You could just be getting duked on by a sweat, and it just wouldn't be. It wouldn't matter because you're having fun on a Call of Duty game, and it's just like now it's rage inducing. God, it just makes me so mad. It's like, God, like, did your parents not love you? Why you gotta be so good at this game?
I don't mind people being good, but like the crazy movement that's just insane to me to see in my lobbies.
Well,
like the people that are doing that don't even have a good enough KD to get out of my lobbies. Like, don't get me wrong, I'm not that good. I got like maybe a 2 or 3 KD most of the time on a game because I don't take it that serious, especially the newer CODs. But I feel like that's not a high enough KD for me to be getting these stupid sweat lobbies. Surely they have a higher KD than that.
Ultimately, skill-based matchmaking is what ruined all of this for us.
I agree. That is my number one, dislike about any game that has a casual mode should not have skill-based matchmaking in it.
Oh, I agree 1,000,000%. That's the whole point of having a ranked side of things.
Yeah.
So you could have that heavy skill-based matchmaking. It's crazy. It's like they just like said, screw the casual player. You're gonna lose. Probably I don't know what it's set up for, what the actual ratio is, but it's definitely like it's got to be 5-1. You're gonna win 1 and then lose 5 because that's pretty much what it feels like. It's like they pushed the limit as to how many can we make you play before you're like 1 from hey man, let me shut it down. It's like they bring you back in. They're like, all right, you've lost enough. Like we got to let him win 1 so he'll keep playing.
This is where Can't End on an L came from.
Pretty much.
Because you're just constantly getting L's on the newer CODs,
Yeah, and if you won 1, you're going to go inside somebody else's game and you're going to be their last game on win.
Didn't they bring back a vote map finally on this new COD? Where was this the whole time, man? Like that was one of my favorite things. Staying in the lobby with the people who either just kicked my ass or I kicked theirs. Either way, we about to, see if it happens again. I want that back, man. Like, I shouldn't have to wait until the last Modern Warfare, remake is out. Because I doubt they're doing another after this. I would be surprised if they go to a 4. I wouldn't, but I would be.
Yeah, I don't know. I could see it because of the reception. Like everybody's going crazy about this Modern Warfare game, and it
is like that every time at the start, and then 2 months later, it's like all these problems are still here. It's been, they released one small update since day 1, and it ain't fixed half our problems.
Well, you're exactly right. We are blindsided because all these key features have been left out up until this point. So it feels like something like, yes, finally. But in reality, like you said, it should have been back in the original 2019 and now. They shouldn't have removed that awesome feature of map selecting. And another thing that I liked a lot that came back in the newest Modern Warfare 3 is instead of doing that stupid play of the game stuff, which I think is just dumb because half the time you could have hit a quad feed in a match, but it'll give it to the guy that got like 2 kills camping in a corner.
Yeah, he just got a higher score in that play somehow or something.
But they brought back the final kill, which is like, God, like you said, it should have been something from forever ago. I love final kill because it makes everybody play so dumb just to get that last kill, and it makes it fun, like at the end of the match.
It does.
Like, I'm going to get kill cam, you kind of plan out the last like 3 kills in the match. Like, all right, I got to be in combat in like the next 2 kills.
Yeah, I mean,
they brought back the Guardian from Black Ops 2. Isn't that weird?
Really?
Yeah, that in the beta, that's your second kill streak.
Oh yeah, I saw. It's not actually the Guardian, but yeah, it's really similar.
I think it suppresses them.
That was for the kill streaks. Like, we should do like a whole kill streak tier list, or
that would be good.
Like noob stuff tier list. That would be good because there's a lot of noob things. And I might have done a few, but I actually, when you do some of them good, dude,
I mean, it's
good.
The how I set up the Guardian thing is I was playing Rust, and that little tunnel you can go prone in and crawl around.
Oh my lord!
I put it right there, and people are going in that tunnel and just like getting obliterated.
As soon as they get crouched, they can't leave.
Pretty much. Like, what happened?
Does it slow you down like the Guardian did?
I don't remember. I don't think
you couldn't even run or do nothing hardly when the Guardian hit you. It was really annoying on Black Ops 2 because it was good if it got you.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of like being stuck in quicksand because it was really hard to get out of without getting killed.
I always had an EMP class in case someone ran that all the time. I'd run that for the game just to EMP your shit.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, I did too. My MP7 class had EMP on it. That was like what you needed.
Yes, sir.
But yeah, I don't know, just I really enjoy the maps. It's crazy. I want what would be redeeming, in my opinion, for Modern Warfare 3 is if they bring back the things that we really enjoyed most about Modern Warfare 3, like survival. I would love to see that.
Yeah.
And kind of something that you told me about, because I didn't get to play Modern Warfare 3 2, so I'm having to live through you. But they're bringing back that super, super controversial mission, No Russian. That is, I mean, God, that, like, after I heard about that and heard the backstory and heard, like, how global news was talking about No Russian originally whenever it came out in 2009, it gave me, like, chills. I'm like, God, this was, like, this really hit home for some people, you know, as far as it, you know, they're killing civilians, man. That's crazy.
I mean, I don't know why, like, certain countries, like, I don't know why it was such a big deal, really, because there was a nuke set off in the first one, and you shot a dude's arm off. And I don't know, like, there's killing dogs a lot on there. Like, everyone's got some beef with COD in some way. It's just fiction, though, you know, so.
Yeah, I guess it's all different when it's innocent lives, but... yeah, I don't know. I don't really get that either.
It's all just fiction. It's like anime. You can't get as mad at it as you would an anime or something, you know?
Yeah.
Like a movie.
God, I just imagine a game recreating 9/11. That would make freaking headlines for days.
I would do that. Just
oh my God. But, yeah, I think Call of Duty, one thing we can give Call of Duty here recently is they've been making some really good campaigns. It kind of sucked to hear about Black Ops 4 just not even doing one, period. But at the same time, if they weren't going to do a good one, why do it? You know. But it seems like Infinity Ward's been giving us some.
Black Ops 3 was a hard campaign to follow up on too. That was a crazy campaign.
I would say it's controversial. A lot of people say it's like terrible, and it's not. It's
I don't agree with that at all.
I played it several times. I really enjoyed it.
I did too.
There's not really been a COD campaign that I've really hated necessarily. I thought Call of Duty's always done pretty decent. I don't think I played Infinity Wars all the way through, but I played most of the way through.
It was pretty good too, you know.
Yeah, but
Advanced Warfare I liked a lot. I like Kevin Spacey.
Yeah, Kevin. Hi, Kevin. we got the most like notorious meme of our like probably internet existence is press F in the chat to pay respects.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's probably one reason I might buy Modern Warfare 3 is so I can play the campaign, because they've done really well with it. You know, of course, how could you not with the OG crew with Price, Soap, Makarov, making an appearance.
I can't say whoever does the campaign has done great, but I can't agree with the, you know, I'm guessing the higher ups decisions on a lot of the transactions for the game and overall content.
God, I wonder what the players would do if they just like drop microtransactions. There would be at this point there'd be so many people mad.
I wonder what they would do if people just stopped buying their game. Like if half their sales just stopped, yeah, they would change some shit quick, you know.
Well, you know, that might be a good segue to talk about X Defiant, the COD killer. Literally, what headlines are calling it? They're calling it the COD killer. Mainstream media.
I will definitely be playing it.
Dude, I'm telling you, if they undersell Call of Duty, that would be insane. Like, if they market their game for like $20, $25, oh my God, dude, that itself will be the COD killer. If it sells more copies
in COD, I would be very happy with that. That would make Call of Duty do something.
Made by the original creator, or one of the masterminds behind the original Modern Warfare 2. Kind of ironic.
Yeah.
Man, and what I've seen, the betas that have been played, there's been no complaints whatsoever, which we've seen in the past. You know, that's not uncommon. You know, betas usually are more of a marketing thing than anything. You know, but man, it sounds like it's going to be a really good game, and I don't know necessarily if it's going to kill Call of Duty. Call of Duty's just like, it's like Coca-Cola. It ain't going nowhere. You know, it's here to stay, but I do think it's going to definitely take away from some sales.
I think it will too. And you know, I think if you're looking to buy X Defiant, you probably know what you're looking for—a more old OG shooter multiplayer style game.
Yeah, I've also heard rumors that's part of the reason why Call of Duty started their lobbies back up on their older COD games and put them on this Xbox is because of X Defiant. You know, they're starting to get a little bit shaky in their boots there. that X Defiant's going
I
to
don't
turn out
think
to be a
that's
really
going to
good
stop
game.
the people who are interested in it, though. To be honest,
I don't think so at all. And
might prepare them for it.
in my opinion, what the issue is now is instead of polishing a Call of Duty game, they just move on to the next one. And
Yeah.
I feel like that's if X Defiant does it right, and if they're smart, they will just stay on this game, their platform, and improve on it as needed, and not make a new one next year.
You don't gotta do that.
That's the whole reason the Battlefields are so successful. Yeah, they are terrible out the gate, but if you look at Battlefield 4, 2042, from what I hear, is getting extremely good, as best as it's ever been. They're getting this support after years of being out. Call of Duty, it's just like, God, it's like bad girlfriends, man. They just get one year and move on. They don't improve nothing. They just keep on going. It's kind of depressing.
How long has 2042 been out? 2 years now?
Yeah, 2 years. I've got a coworker that plays it like religiously. I'd be curious to see how many hours he's got in it, but he's got so much stuff to like tier 1, which is like the whatever, gold version, platinum, whatever you want to call it. And he attests it's like really, really good, and he hated it out the start just as much as anybody else did. He's a tough critic. Yeah, it's probably not optimized still, but I don't think it will be at this point. They just want you to use that better setup.
No, I just don't know why I would like to know why my setup doesn't run good on it. I got a few ideas, but it should not run as bad as it does, I feel like.
Yeah, it's kind of crazy because I've heard of people running it on more terrible setups. They had to turn the graphics down.
Maybe mine's just got something not optimized right, or maybe I got something not even set up right for all I know, but it really don't matter to me because every other game is ran fine, so I really feel like it's not just that.
Yeah. Well, that's pretty much all I've got to say about the Modern Warfare 3 beta. I mean, it was good, but like you said, we don't need to be supporting this, and you're right. You're absolutely right.
Yeah, I mean, if you want to buy it, I'm not gonna say don't buy it. That's your choice, but I would advise that you maybe think about spending your money elsewhere first if you got other things you might want to buy.
Yeah.
Honestly, I'd rather buy clothes than buy the new COD.
I'd rather buy car parts. That's just me.
I'd rather fill up on gas.
Oh my God. Yeah, ain't that the truth?
I'd rather have a full tank of E85 than COD.
That's awful. I don't think like 12-year-old you playing, COD and
I'd never think I'd say anything about that.
Yeah. You done had it pre-ordered the day it was available.
Man, I remember when Black Ops 2 came out. My life changed. The nostalgia was just hit, dude. Like, I can remember, I just remember how I felt when I woke up Christmas morning on that shit.
Oh my God, homie was a Christmas.
I will never forget it. I think I was. I may not have been, but I think I was.
We were all Christmas dudes.
I wasn't really a noob, but yeah, at the start I wasn't the best, but by the end of Black Ops 2, I had honed in my Call of Duty skills. I had the improvement arc.
League play, all that.
Yeah, league play, and then even in Black Ops 3, I did some battle or
game battles.
I can't remember. Yeah, game battles on MLG. I liked competitive Call of Duty. I was really into it.
Yeah.
So my criticism is not just anger. I'm not angry at Call of Duty so much. It's more like I'm disappointed.
Yeah, you're like
I expect
father.
more. I expect more, especially for the money they're asking for.
Oh, definitely. Because they've gone up in price.
They're asking more than the OG CODs, but they don't feel as good as OG CODs or even like Battlefield. So I can't see them charging more.
They look better, but that's not enough. I mean, that is just not enough.
Nah, I mean, I usually don't even run high settings on it just to get a really good FPS. So
we're just there to play the game.
Well, yeah, I don't really think I got much else to say,
Yeah, that's kind of all I've got. Well, I guess we'll throw it to a quick outro, and we will see you guys in the next one. Hey guys, I hope you enjoyed the episode as much as we did. If you did, hop on over to our social media at Cars and Health Bars on most platforms and interact with us. We love talking to you guys and posting some memes for you guys to laugh at. And with that being said, guys, we'll catch you in the next one.